What's going on, YouTube? Just sitting there watching the Oh, I didn't realize you was I thought you had your headphones on. Oh, anyway, sitting there following the Brooklyn Nets game right now. Currently they're down 112 to 98 or 99. Um, I'll just put it out like this: Steve Nash needs to be fired like immediately. There's no way you lose three straight games to teams that's way under 500. No possible way. I don't even understand it. Yeah, they lost KD because of the COVID protocols, but even with that, I mean that still like baffles me. You got Kyrie Irving and James Harden, and then you got a bunch of I guess you could say subpar below players around them, including DeAndre Jordan himself, who doesn't play a shadow of defense. Somehow you got to get this to work. I mean, I don't know if you got to get out of man because it's definitely working. That's what they always try to run. Run a zone or run a 1-3-1 zone to give your guys a chance to out rebound other teams because right now you're getting exposed badly on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side. So without KD, it's clear that this team ain't going no damn well. That's a very clear statement. Without KD, that ball ain't rolling. So they lost, this will be their third straight, so they'll drop down to 14-12 on the season through 26 games. That's pathetic. If I'm the general manager right now of the Nets, I'm calling Steve Nash to the office, and I may end up firing him because at some point you got to learn how to win, even without your big superstar. You got to win at least the games you're supposed to win. Now here and there, yeah, you're gonna have games where the other team get hot or whatever, which is what's going on right now with Detroit because Jeremy Grant has 32 points, so on 11-16 shooting, so it's just one of these games for him. But there's no way in hell that the rest of his team is shooting maybe above 40, 50%. They get out rebounded by damn near 20, and they just getting crushed. That just blows my mind. Like, so what do they think this is a game? I mean, they were put in position to compete against the Lakers. Well, the roster they had before they got James Harden, before that trade, they were in competition with the Lakers to actually compete to beat them in the finals. Now they can't even beat Philadelphia until they decide to get it together. I don't know if you got three inter roster spots and you got free agency coming up. Why not go out there and attract the free agents that's going to actually help you win games? That's going to play defense. You know, at this point, I really think they should just fire Steve Nash. I'm not saying promote D'Antoni because that damn shit ain't gonna work. He doesn't play a lick of fucking defense, so no, you don't promote him. But you get somebody in there like, Mike Woodson or Mark Jackson or even they should even go after I can't think of his name right now. I would say Avery Johnson, but he's not a great coach either. But it should not be Steve Nash. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's not even a proven coach. He has no coaching experience, but you put him in position because you got KD and Kyrie, and now you just got James Harden. Like, so what are you supposed to do with that? He on the sideline every time out, he's not even really talking. It's them communicating with each other. It's like high school. So I'm confused. This is like what kind of system they run, what kind of offensive set they're trying to run, or for that matter, what kind of defensive sets. Because right now, every team in the league is getting off on them. It's like everybody gets jacked up just to play the Brooklyn Nets, just to drop 120 points, which right now, Detroit's on their way to dropping 120 as we speak. And it's so disgusting to think about because it's like, bro, there's no way with all the talent you guys have, or the three people you guys have, there's no way you're not blowing teams out. But I forgot, you don't play defense, I don't give a damn how good you are. Ask Michael Jordan, you can get your ass spanked. Don't matter. Ask LeBron James, you can get spanked. You don't play defense as a team, you're going to get spanked. So right now, Brooklyn's taking that ass whooping. Like, every team in the league's going to give it to them. And they're talking about, they play the Pacers tomorrow night. Then they wait till Saturday when they play the Golden State Warriors. Now, what do you think Steph Curry going to do to them? Then you got Udry and I think Wiseman will be back. What do you think they're finna do to them boys? And they're at home in Oracle Arena. They finna get in the business. They're finna probably go off for 50. The only chance they got is if Durant actually goes off for like 45. That's about it. Outside of that, they need to figure this out. I mean, if need be, hell, I hate to say it like this, but if need be, get rid of Kyrie ass. Because to me right now, it's becoming a joke. It's literally laughing stock to watch this team who swears, who basically got put together just to go win a title, but then they can't even play together. They're getting simple defensive assignments and can't even handle them. Players just blowing by them, going right to the rim, or they're pulling up for three. So you're not stopping the three. You're not stopping the lane from getting taken over. So what the hell are you out there for? At least Jared Allen, to his credit, was standing the block, and it was very hard to get your shot off because he was literally going to attempt to block anything that came in there, floaters and all. But now he's in Cleveland looking like a superstar because when they played him back-to-back games, what did he do to them? Put up a double-double. And y'all traded him away for James Harden? Are you serious? Are you serious? A 4-team trade now where they sent Jared Allen and Taurean Prince to Cleveland. Now they look stupid because those were your two anchors on defense. At least they gave you a solid defensive performance. You want to give it up 120 points a game. You might have gave it close to 100, but it won 120 points. And at least you get solid rebounding from Jared Allen, who's actually out there competing, crashing the boards, getting rebounds, making blocks, making assists and stuff like that, making life easier for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Now you don't have that no more because DeAndre Jordan ain't going to block my shot or your mama's. That just ain't going to happen. So I really question what the president of basketball operations is trying to do. Are you trying to put fans in the stands or are you trying to win a banner? Because if it's about putting fans in the stands, you're going to see yourself in the middle of the damn NBA draft next year. Because right now, this team can't beat nobody. And the crazy part is they play better against better competition, but it's with Durant on the floor. Without Durant, they get their ass smoked. So I'm confused. Like, how is it that then they build leads and can't maintain them? You was up by 18 in one of these games. In the first game, you lost, and you still lost. And the game Durant went out in, they lost that game, even though he had basically drugged them back into the game. And he had by 8 points, but his impact gave much more life to Kyrie and James to do their job. But it shouldn't be that way. I mean, you should be able to galvanize your team and get them to play better defense than what they're doing. That's why tonight James Harden imploded on DeAndre Jordan. But hell, he should be beating himself up because he don't play defense like that. Neither does Kyrie. Kyrie plays defense when he wants to play defense. I've seen him play some good defensive stops here and there, but it hasn't been consistent because there's no way in the hell other guards that ain't even of caliber on his level are getting off. Like Colin Sexton, no offense to that brother. He's going to be a dynamic pro. I don't think he's going to be an all-star, but he's going to be a dynamic pro. And he getting off for 40-something points, 30-something points. Like, dude, really? And like, again, I mean, without the KD monster out there roaming, they don't have a shot. And, of course, they televising this Warriors-Nets game because it's going to be big. But, hell, what's the point in that if y'all coming to the damn game with a 14-13 record? Who really going to watch that BS? It's only going to be a handful of people who can actually watch it. Everybody else going to be tuning out. Because right now, the talk of the NBA is the Lakers and Clippers and the Jazz because they're surprising 19-5. But outside of that, the East is competitive, but there's no dominant team that stands out. It's not one. So, Brooklyn, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? If you was the cream of the crop, as they say before this whole season started, once they got KD and Kyrie, and they were healthy, and they started playing, and they they got James in that 14 mega trade, they were, quote-unquote, the cream of the crop in the East. Basically, damn it, sorry about that. Basically, they were formulated to beat LeBron and Kyrie for that matter, not Kyrie, but and Kawhi for that matter. They were formulated to beat any team that came out of the West. Now they can barely beat any team in the NBA. Hell, and the worst team by far right now is the Detroit Pistons, and they just beat them. So if Detroit beat them, and probably I'm assuming Minnesota can beat them because they're one of the worst teams in the West. and they don't shoot threes. But against Brooklyn, you're going to get your threes off. So it might be your night to go 50% from 3-point line and get you some free layups and dunks. It's kind of like a run through practice against. It's like a ran through practice against Brooklyn now. Every team seems to get off threes and get off layups. So if you keep doing that long enough, you're gonna run up the score, and that's exactly what they're doing to them. They get up 30-some points in the first quarter, 30-some in the second, or 40-some in the second, then 30-some in the third, then 30-some in the fourth. Of course you're going to see 120, 130 points on the scoreboard. If you can't control teams under at least 25 a quarter, you ain't got a shot in hell. So, my opinion, it's time for Steve Nash to go. 26 games into the season, and you 14-12? Really? And we just did a mega trade to get James Harden, but you still ain't figured out a defensive scheme that's going to help the offense propel itself? Because if you get your defense just to produce fast break points, then you can start separating from teams. But if you can't even do that, why are you coaching? Why do we need you? What are you, attractive name? Nobody really knows you outside of those who played with you. Kevin Durant, they don't give a shit about you, man. They just there to play with each other for the next 2 or 3 years. Hopefully they'll get a ring. It's going to become a circus show, which to me is pathetic because I'm not going to play with somebody I like, not just to ride along. I'm going to play and I'm going to push their ass to be better so we can go get this damn championship. I'm not studying your damn feelings because at the end of the day, I wasted my youth in a certain place and I got 2 rings, another location. I'm trying to win again. I'm trying to be mentioned with that of the greats, even though I had to go to different teams to get the championship done. But I'm trying to still win championships. That ain't about friendships. Because Kyrie won 1, KD won 2. James Harden ain't been to NBA Finals. Well, yes, he did. I'll take it back. He went with OKC. After that, he only been to the West Conference Finals twice, and that was in Houston. And he didn't win the series. He lost. The closest he came was when they almost beat the 2016 Golden State Warriors. That's the closest he came to the NBA Finals with Houston. So he hasn't had that taste of a Finals victory or winning the NBA championship. He hasn't had it yet, but KD and Kyrie have. So to me, Kyrie should be able to channel something and get them boys together. Because right now they're looking like hot-ass garbage, just straight up. I'm gonna continue to follow them throughout the season, but it's irritating to watch them follow the teams that's not even got winning records. For instance, the Indiana Pacers are 12-12, and they don't even have their top scorer. But I guarantee tomorrow night they're gonna put us some points against Brooklyn because Brooklyn don't play defense. They just your turn, our turn, your turn, our turn. That's their philosophy. You score, we're gonna try to score to keep up with you. You build a league on us, then you probably got us. We're not built to come back without KD. This whole entire season so far is all on KD's shoulders, sadly. Because if he don't go out there and perform, then they ain't going to win that game. It's sad to say it like that, but it's the truth. Just like when he went out the other game they played, I really wish I knew it. And I saw the game because I was overly frustrated with what was going on. And then losing the fourth quarter after giving up, almost 30 points in the fourth quarter to lose that game because he had cut it within, I want to say, like 3 or 4. Then he got told that he couldn't play no more. And then he got told he can't be cleared until Saturday or cleared until Friday, which he'll be able to play Saturday. So he was highly, highly pissed off. But they got to figure something out. Because if not, they're not going to even make the playoffs. To me, it's embarrassing when you lose to bottom feeders in the NBA. I can see teams that's fighting for the 8th seed or 7th seed. Okay, those type of games happen, but teams that ain't even got a shot in the playoffs right now. Detroit is 6-18. I don't even want to know what the final score was to that game because I know it's irritating. When I saw it, it was 112-99. And it was like 2 minutes and 47 seconds to go. So I know they lost that game. They ain't finna score no 20 points in no 2 minutes. That ain't finna happen. But it's irritating because they're a much better team than that. But they just continue to play like they say, they play down to the level of competition. I don't know how the hell you play down to teams that's nowhere near 500. How do you play down to that competition? or check out of that game when you're supposed to beat that team. Not saying you're superior to that team, but you're supposed to beat them. They may get you one time, but, bruh, it shouldn't be early in the season. You should be dominating that team and moving on to the next opponent so you continue to build on your winning record. But instead, they lost 3 in a row now. And they still slotted as the third best team in the East. I don't see how. The only thing that's keeping them there is the fact they have KD, Kyrie, and Harden on the roster. Other than that, they'll be a bottom feeder. And if we want to be technical, KD's probably got them at least 12 of those 14 wins. So 2 of those wins came from the rest of the team. All the rest of that stuff was all KD. From doing what he had to do to get the team's wins or pulling out close game victories. So he should definitely be in consideration for MVP if he continues his pace up. I just question the minutes he plays because it's 40-some minutes a game, and he just came off an Achilles. So are you really willing to run him in the ground before the playoffs start? Like, come on. Steve Nash, you need to figure out a damn system that works. And not no damn sit there and watch them fade away and, you start mumbling underneath your ass, telling some play defense, come on, guys. Like, they're really listening to you. Because you ain't got no coaching prowess or experience, excuse me, it is so much harder for players to take you serious. When you were a player once before, but the system you ran was pick and roll. Pick and roll, pick and pop. That's all you ran. That is not going to work in Brooklyn because Kyrie don't do pick and rolls. KD will do them, and he don't want to actually move without the ball in his hand. Everybody else is going to just stand there and watch. So how are you really going to run a pick and roll? You have a lot of, just like you said in the interview, you have a lot of selfish individuals. Well, you need to change that because if you don't try to do something as a coach, then you don't need to be in that position. Because now the Nets are basically, I'm not going to say a laughingstock, but it is becoming a joke to watch them play on the floor, becoming a total joke. Because nobody's going to take them seriously, and it's going to come to a boiling point on the floor with these players because they're watching night in, night out. They're giving up at least 40 points in the first quarter. And then they trying to claw back in the second, only to get smacked again in the third and then get finished off in the fourth. Come on now, that ain't even real basketball. If that's the case, you might as well go watch a high school team play. That's what you should do. But anyway, guys, this is something I had to, get on my chest because I just got disgusted with the way they're playing. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what else you want me to talk about. I have some more content I want to come out with, but I'm still working behind the scenes on that. Got to do some more research. But let me know what you think. After 26 games, does Steve Nash still deserve to be the coach? Or should they make a change? Or just let me know what the deal is, all you real basketball fans out there. Please give me some insight into what you think. All right, peace.